I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown. I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown. I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown.
There's a gift that's been given to you, and that gift is so specific that it's only your own. And everyone here in this place has their own unique way to bring a smile to each face.
I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown.
You may have the gift to bring joy, or you may have the gift of compassion to give. Some can build playgrounds so children can play. Whatever your gift, make sure you give it each day.
I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown. I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown. I am unique. I am a child of the universe. I have a gift of my own. I am unique. I am a child of the universe with treasures and limits unknown.
So this week when I chatted with Brent about what the title of my talk was and said it was Your Unique Gift, he sat down and wrote this song for us. And then he worked these guys to create this awesome choir. What a great job they did. Yes. Do you see? Do you see what we have the potential to do when we are encouraged and we are motivated? Yes. We are unique. We are a child of the universe. And we each have our own gifts. I love the line, treasures and limits unknown. Today's talk is your unique gift. Our affirmation for 2016, our church's affirmation is now is the time. Now is the time to be a part of the shift in the balance of world consciousness. The president in the State of the Union address, I used this a couple weeks ago because I liked it so much, change the system to reflect our better selves. Change my consciousness to reflect my better self. Am I ready to start doing that? It's the time. Now's the time. And then actor Will Smith was given an interview. And he said, diversity is our nation's superpower. And I looked at Reverend Teresa, I said, that's my talk. We become our better selves when we embrace our diversity. Now, normally we think of diversity as different ethnic groups, but I'm talking about our each individual diversity. Because each of you, even though you're sitting next to each other, even though you're mates, you're each unique. You each are diverse in your own way. Every single one of us is unique and diverse from anyone else. And we each, no matter who we are, have a special gift to express in this world. This is our purpose. Now, Tuesday we start a new class. It's called How to Use Your 12 Gifts from God. Unity teaches what we call the 12 powers. There are 12 faculties within us that we can tap into. And there are many, many books on this. This is a little one you don't usually see. And you notice it's worn. It's got all kinds of pink lines in it. I worked doing consulting work for some time in my life. I lived on the road for 2 years out of suitcases. This was like my Bible. This guided me when I was stuck, when I didn't know where to turn, when I felt alone. This book was my mini Bible. So I'm very, as we did our last class, the last class we did, it kept talking about our inner gifts. So it's time now. What are these gifts? Can I explore these gifts in me? A divine plan is unfolding through you now. You have a magnificent purpose on this planet Earth, and your realization of this purpose is coming in a special way. It is your contribution to the uplifting of mankind. So we choose to become receptive to the divine activity that's within us. Because when we activate it, it transforms us and it raises our consciousness to our spiritual self. Social, cultural pressures, family expectations from childhood cover up our spiritual gifts, our true nature. What's the question we get asked from the time we're little through college? What are you going to be when you grow up? And some of us are still asking ourselves that, right? Yeah. So we become confused about who we are. You ever felt that way? Unsure of what we want? And that true spiritual self lies buried under layers of what the world has been telling us. How do I get there? How do I uncover it? Now is the time. Now is the time to remove those layers, to connect to your spiritual self and uncover your unique gift and purpose. A teacher gave his class an assignment, and he told them to go out to a road that they normally travel, and by the side of the road, to look for a flower they'd never noticed. And to sit with that flower, to spend time with it. Hang on a second. To spend time with it, look at its petals. Notice the shape of the petals. Look at the different hues of colors in it. Look at the leaves and the delicate veins in the leaves. Spend time with that flower and discover its beauty. And then he said to his class, people are just like that unnoticed flower. Each one is different, carefully crafted, uniquely endowed. But you have to spend time with a person to realize this. So many people go unnoticed, unappreciated, because no one has taken time to realize their uniqueness. Have you ever felt unnoticed, unappreciated, not seen for who you really are inside? Have you ever not recognized or appreciated the uniqueness of someone else and not really seen who they were inside? We judge, we label, by outer appearances, by behaviors, by titles, and we miss the gifts beneath the service. When I was just a new minister, I had a seasoned minister say to me, "I'd much rather do memorial services than weddings." And I went, "Really?" And now I know why. It is such an honor to do a memorial service because what people do is they share those gifts. They get up. If you were at Don's memorial service, the beautiful things we heard about this man, the beautiful stories that were shared, people took time to go underneath and see the real person. In Sister Helen's second grade class, she had a young man named Mark. Mark was neat, he was polite, but he talked nonstop. And Sister Helen was always reminding him that talking without permission was not acceptable. But Mark had this happy to be alive attitude. And he just made her smile. And whenever she corrected him, he'd say, "Thank you for correcting me, sister." Well, one day, Mark tried her patience. Just a little too much talking. She said, "If you say one more word, I'm going to tape your mouth shut." Remember the old Catholic schools now. It wasn't but a few seconds later, a classmate goes, Sister Helen, Mark's talking again." So Sister Helen, without saying a word, she walks over to her desk. She opens her drawer. She takes out a roll of masking tape, walks over to Mark's desk, tears 2 pieces of masking tape, and makes an X across his mouth. She walks back to the front of the room, turns around, looks at Mark, and he winks at her. She just cracked up. The class cracked up. She took the tape off, and as soon as she took the tape off, he said, "Thank you for correcting me, sister." So Mark went on to 3rd grade. Sister Helen was assigned to teach new math in the junior high school. And wouldn't you know, years later, who showed up in her class but Mark? Neat, polite, same happy to be alive attitude, but he wasn't as talkative because he had to really listen to learn this new math stuff. In fact, all the students were working so hard to learn the new concept that they were becoming frustrated with themselves, edgy with each other. And so Sister Helen decided to try something. And for their assignment, she handed them each a piece of paper with all their classmates' name on them and some space after each classmate. And they were to take that paper home and write the nicest things they could say about each classmate. The children did the assignment, they turned it in, and when Sister Helen received it, she took a paper and put each classmate's name on the paper, and then she listed the nice things their classmates had said about them. She heard comments like, "I never knew I meant anything to anyone. I didn't know others liked me so much." Sister Helen never heard any talk about the papers. She didn't know if she'd accomplished what she wanted to do, but she said the students seemed happier with themselves and with each other. Mark graduated from high school and he enlisted in the service. And it wasn't long before he was sent to Vietnam. One day, Sister Helen received the notice that Mark had been killed in action. The church service was packed with military honors like we had last week with Don. And then at the reception, Mark's parents went up to Sister Helen and said, "We want to show you something." This was found on Mark when he was killed. And the father took this piece of paper that had been folded and refolded, and it was taped. And Sister Helen knew that it was the paper with what his classmates had said about him. Mark's mother said, "Thank you so much for doing that." Mark treasured it. And as this was happening, other classmates that had been in that class were gathering around. And one man said, "I still have my list." Someone else spoke up and said, "Me too, I keep it in my top desk drawer." Another classmate said, "I have it in my wedding album." Another said, "It's in my journal." And a woman reached in her purse, took out her wallet, and brought out the piece of paper that was frazzled, worn, and said, "I carry this with me all the time." You each have your own unique gift. May not be life-changing. You may not have a special life that you think is unique. But you, in your uniqueness, make life special. I want you to hear that. The book we've just finished in class was Myrtle Filmer's How to Let God Help You. Myrtle tells us, you are where you are because there is a need to be supplied. Your work is not for the purpose of supplying your own physical needs. It is for the purpose of expressing your God-given faculties and powers to the end that you may manifest the divine ideas God has implanted with you. You each have so much to offer. But we hold back, don't we? We hold back, and we don't let our light shine. Jesus said in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light so shine before humans that they may see your good works and glorify God." And then Marianne Williamson in Return to Live said, "Who are you not to let your light shine?" God created you, and your purpose is to make the world a better place by standing up and agreeing to be what you were created to be, not what somebody else tells you you should be. I found this. The author isn't known, and I love it. God said, "Your task is to build a better world." I answered, "How? This world is such a vast place and so complicated, and I am so small and useless. What can I do?" And God said, "Just build a better you." We can all do that, can't we? You have God-given spiritual gifts within you. They're not the same as your natural abilities and talents. Now, we're not talking about the things we do out here, though those things can point us towards our spiritual gifts. Our gifts are designed to enable us to develop the divine pattern of our Christ nature. So I want you to ask yourself, what matters most? Because what matters most to me is going to point me to my gift. What matters most to me? What's important in my life? And it's not about making more money, and it's not about getting a bigger house, and it's not about a new job. What's really important to me? Again, when we have the memorial services, we get to find that out. We get to hear that. What was important about that person? What am I drawn to? What draws you? What pulls you? And 2, when am I happiest? When am I so wrapped up in what I'm doing? There's nothing else I want to be doing. There's no place else I want to be. I remember the first time I experienced that. I lived on a sailboat for 2 years. I was on a sailboat off the coast of California. And it just went whoosh. And for the first time in my life, there was nothing else I wanted to be doing, nowhere else I wanted to be. And you know what that feeling was? That feeling was God. And I don't need to be on the sailboat to have that feeling. But I didn't know it until that moment. When we have those moments, at those times, everything feels all right with the world. So start really paying attention to what pulls you, what draws you. And it's usually those moments when you're just being, when there's nothing that seems to be a lot happening. It's just kind of quiet, and you feel yourself in that oneness. That's where you'll find your gift. I had absolutely no idea that I was going to be a minister, ever. I wouldn't talk or raise my hand in school. I'd turn red if the teacher called on me. There's no way I was going to stand in front of people and talk. But from the time I can remember, and that's about 5 years old, there was this stirring in me, this calling of oneness, of God, of spirit. And I remember I was with one of my significant others, and I was talking away, and he goes, "Oh, you always start talking about that spiritual stuff. It's the only thing I want to talk about." Everything kept pushing me in this direction. I didn't make the decision, but I allowed life to move me to it. When I'm up here talking to you, everything else disappears. And there's nothing I'd rather be doing, and no place else I'd rather be. Mondays, when I'm starting the next talk, different story. Our divine purpose is to grow spiritually, to uplift humanity that we meet on our path by fully expressing our God-given gifts. So it's time to start looking to something outside of us to make our life right and to accept our God-given potential. So this week, you've got an assignment, should you choose to accept it. I want you to take at least 4 names. You can do more if you want. And I want you to put them on a piece of paper, leave some space. And then next to them, write the nicest things you can think of. Now, it's not about their job. It's not about what they do. Look underneath. Look in that person. The subtle things, like you would be looking at that flower. And make sure on that list is someone that challenges you. Someone that pushes your button. Someone that you don't kind of like too much. If you don't do it for anyone else, do it for that person. And then, anonymously, you can do nothing with them, or you can. Anonymously, if it's a coworker, leave it on your coworker's desk. If it's maybe a significant other, drop it in the shopping bag or leave it on the car seat. If it's someone in this church, give it to me, and I'll be sure they get it. While you're doing this, you will not only discover their unique gift, you just may discover yours. God bless you.